This is Ronda, a town in the southern portion of Spain. This is one of those places that those who visit tell others they need to go to if they are ever in the region. I'm here to see if that reputation is warranted. My bus rolled in around 6 o'clock yesterday evening, and I will catch another at around the same time later today. In between, I will check out the major attractions to see what this town is like. I will begin with the most iconic feature. This bridge is the singular feature that most people consider when thinking about the city or town of Ronda. It is called the New Bridge, or in Spanish, Puente Nuevo. Everything is relative, so in this case, the New Bridge dates to the 18th century. It is probably impossible to come to the town and not visit the bridge. This spans a deep gorge and connects the two sides of Ronda. That gorge is called El Tajo Canyon, and from this point, the bottom is more than 100 meters below. This chasm was formed by the Guadalquivir River, which flows through the bottom. Some separation is needed to truly appreciate the new bridge. That way, the three arches upon which the surface of the span rests can be seen. There's a large one in the middle, then smaller ones on each side. Several points exist where it's possible to get a good view of both the bridge and the gorge below. My favorite spot was to one side, down in the canyon. It costs €5 to access this area. To walk close to the base of the bridge, it is necessary to wear a hard hat. This vantage point provides a sense for how massive the effort must have been to connect the two sides of the gorge. Remember, construction here took place in the 1700s. The bridge is significantly taller than it is long. Those dimensions are 105 meters tall and 66 meters long. There are a couple of older bridges, which I'll show you in a few moments, that allowed access from one side of the gorge to the other. This one, however, was built at a point higher than those two. It certainly made life easier in the town, but it did not come without a price. The initial construction of a bridge at this spot began in 1735 and took just a handful of years to complete. The first attempt at spanning the gorge at this location failed spectacularly, with the structure collapsing just a couple of years after it was completed with a monumental loss of life. This was a complete redesign. It took decades to build, but it has stood strong since 1793. The collapse came in 1741 and 50 people died when the single arch structure failed. This span was erected beginning in 1759 and wasn't completed until 34 years later. On each side of the bridge, there are miradors or overlooks where people can get a view of the gorge and the span itself. This one is called the Mirador de Aldehuela. After spending time on the bridge, many visitors hit this spot in order to put it all into perspective. The second most iconic attraction in Ronda is the bullring. Officially, this is the bullring of the Royal Cavalry of Ronda. Many sources say that this is the oldest bullring in the world. It was built in the 18th century. The first event here took place in the 1780s. The arena is made entirely of stone, and while it gets the nod for being the oldest, it is also considered one of the most attractive. A payment of €9 allows you to see all of the backstage areas, visit a bullfighting museum, and explore the ring and the stands. There are certainly bull rings that hold more people than this. The seating capacity here is only 5,000. The ring itself, though, at 66 meters in diameter, that makes it the largest in the country. Sometimes Ronda gets credit for being the birthplace of bullfighting, and events are still held here each year. I recognize the history and the heritage of the practice, but many call out the activity for being brutal. I will neither condone nor condemn it. Like many other towns in this part of Spain, a majority of the buildings in Ronda are whitewashed. It creates incredibly attractive scenes and inspires people to simply walk the narrow avenues in search of the next astounding streetscape. The beauty, combined with the intrigue of the bull ring and the unique nature of the new bridge, are quite magnetic. This was a favorite place of author Ernest Hemingway and renowned filmmaker Orson Welles. The town is even the final resting place of Welles' remains. Around 35,000 people live in Ronda. Along the edge of the canyon is a stunning park. This is Jardines de Cuenca. It could be considered a hanging garden. There are 23 terraces, and roses are featured prominently on most of them. This park was established in 1975. It is an ideal spot to obtain phenomenal views of the town and the gorge. Those who descend deeper into the canyon will find the other two bridges that provide a connection between the sides of the town. This is Puente Viejo, or Old Bridge. The span dates to 1616 and is thought to have been built at the site of an earlier passage. Its arch has a diameter of 10 meters and the surface is 31 meters above the water. Once traffic moved over the structure, but now it is only for pedestrians. Even lower toward the bottom of the gorge is the Puente Romano. Despite that name, this has little to do with the Romans. It was constructed during the time of Moorish rule. This is the oldest of Ronda's bridges, taking shape in the 14th century. It was recently renovated, and it is used by vehicles. The surface of the span is just a few meters above the water. Next to the Puente Romano is a cool attraction that I would guess is missed by many visitors to the town. This complex is called the Arab Baths. The incredibly well-preserved compound was created in the 13th and 14th centuries. Similar to Roman baths, this featured areas for cold, warm, and hot waters. The artwork on the interior was most impressive, and walking through, you get a clear sense of how the baths were used in what was essentially a ritual cleansing. During the time that I spent here, I encountered just a handful of other people. Cost of admission was €4.50. Climbing back up from the bottom of the gorge on the same road containing the Puente Viejo is the Arco de Felipe V. Its name honors a king of Spain from the early 18th century. This was at one point the only way into the center of Ronda and was a part of the defensive walls for the town. Many of those walls are still intact adjacent to the arch. With all of this in such good shape today, it doesn't take a great leap to imagine what a visit to the town would have been like in the 1700s. Attractions such as this add so much to the time spent in this location. It's possible to more closely inspect the old walls at the Murales de la Sierra. This is an old castle, complete with a tower, which was used for defense and observation. It was a kick to bound up and down the steps and walk along the top of the walls. There is no charge to access the castle. I spent about 15 to 20 minutes roaming around the space. A place where visitors can become well acquainted with the history of Ronda is the Palacio de Mondragon. This serves as the municipal museum. There are archaeological finds and ethnographic representations on display. The building dates to the 14th century, the time of Moorish rule. There were additions and subtractions through the ages, with one influence after another. A variety of architectural styles exist here, with Muslim and Christian elements all coming together in one location. The gardens are particularly spectacular, and after seeing what is inside, wandering the grounds is especially fulfilling. It cost me €4 to explore all of this. There are numerous other historical features to discover. This is the Palacio de Salvatierra. It is a residence that I saw only from the outside. It was built in the 18th century. Another residence is here. It's Casa del Rey Moro, or House of the Moorish King, also from the 18th century. The site includes gardens and an old 14th century water mine. With a €10 entrance fee and so much more to see, I passed. Possibly my favorite moment in Ronda came here at the Monasterio de Carmelitas Descalzas. Nuns here produce what are called convent treats. They want to stay hidden away from the world, so the transaction takes place using a lazy Susan. I placed my 3.5 euros on the tray and ordered llamas. When the lazy Susan turned, the nuns had the money and I had my treats. I walked over to a nearby park so that I could enjoy them. Llamas de St. Teresa are little balls of confectionery goodness. They're made with egg yolks, milk, and sugar, simple and bite-sized. The llamas were exceedingly sweet. This experience, though, was priceless. The park where I settled after getting the convent treats is the Alameda de Tahoe. I heard it described as the green lungs of the city and a front garden for a town where no one has a front garden. It is such an attractive space with vegetation and statues and fountains. The weather was threatening a bit when I stopped, but I could see how in other conditions this would be such a compelling place to relax. All the trees here are mature and produce ample amounts of shade, as the park was created in the 19th century. The boundary is right on the edge of the cliff. As in many spots within the town, the views are breathtaking. Another much smaller park that I found is here. This is Plaza Duquesa de Parcent. It is the central square in the old part of town. This is such a charming spot, complete with numerous orange trees. To one side of the plaza is the Iglesia de Santa Maria la Mayor. It was built on the site of an old mosque. Construction began in 1485, but the edifice wasn't completed until more than 200 years later. I'm told that the interior is special and that the view from the top of the tower can't be beat, but the timing to go inside wasn't favorable when I passed by. A fair distance away on the other side of the plaza is the Santuario de Maria Auxiliadora. This is a recent addition to the town, as it was constructed in 1955. The outside is attractive, and the interior has plenty of shrines that you can discover. One more religious site to mention. This is the Iglesia y Convento de la Merced, or Church of Our Lady of Mercy. It's another regal structure dating all the way back to the 16th century. When I walked past, a couple of tour groups were learning about its history. I ate more than llamas during my time in Ronda. Along with my brother and sister-in-law, I stopped for lunch at Taperia La Flamenca. It was to get a bite and to avoid a bit of rainfall. We ordered beer as well as a variety of tapas. As for me, I got a Russian salad, octopus with mayonnaise, and mushroom croquettes. I thought the food was good, and I appreciated the staff and the setting even more. We stayed just one night in Ronda, and I don't think any more time than that is needed. There's a lot to see, but it's possible to get to it all by being efficient with your time over parts of 2 days. It would be a struggle to take everything in, just doing a day trip. What a fantastic little city. Lots to do, and everything is so close to every other attraction. Even with a bit of rain interrupting the day, I had a great time. This is my final video from this trip, which began months ago in Ireland and ended here in southern Spain. I am so excited for my next leg, which will include numerous countries in Southeast Asia. Join me for content from there, here on Old, Alone, and Far From Home.